To keep an engine like this running smoothly for years and years and years, you need to change the oil. Oil is the lubrication in the engine, and it keeps it cool, it keeps it running smoothly, and it keeps it running for a long, long time. You can't use the same oil from the day that you bought your mower until the day that you get rid of it. If you do, those 2 days will be very close together. You want to make sure that you have clean oil in there, and you keep the engine well maintained. Briggs & Stratton suggests using SAE 30 type oil, especially up here in the Northeast, because you're only going to be mowing your lawn during the warm months, and you don't have to worry about any 10W30 or anything like that. So, how do you get oil out of the crankcase, and then how do you put new oil into the crankcase? You're going to have to come over and take a look. Alright, this engine obviously is not mounted to a mower deck, and also it currently doesn't have any oil in it. So this is going to be a once over of the technique, and then we can take it outside to check my mower. First thing you want to do before replacing the oil, and you should do this quite regularly, is check the oil in the engine. There's going to be a dipstick somewhere. Right here, it's in this section. So you take a flathead, or if it's a little bit tighter, you could kind of break the seal like that. Unscrew it, and you take it out. So what does the dipstick look like? Let's get that in there. There we go. See, there's these two lines. These two lines are a range where it's a good amount of oil. No need. If it's underneath, I'm not sure if it can be made out. No. That says add right there. You might have seen it. Okay. It says add right in that section. So if the oil's down there, you need to add it. And then this says full, do not overfill, pointing to this line. So you don't want it above here. So what you do, make sure you've got a paper towel or a rag on hand. I need to check the oil. Well, I've just been mowing the lawn and sloshing this around, going up and down hills. So the oil's everywhere. So I want to make sure that it's nice, level, and settled. First thing I want to do is take it out and clean it. Now, I'm going to go back in. Hand tighten quickly just to get it back to the right level. Loosen it up. And now, wherever the oil falls will be my reading. Let's say that the oil in there is pretty gross and I need to change it. I need to find the drain plug. The drain plug is going to be underneath on an engine like this. This is why you want to elevate the deck of your mower. If you've got the engine stripped down like this and you're just working on it, you can also tilt out of here. Yesterday I said that you do not want to roll your mower left to right, so this way, if it were still on the deck. The reason why, let's see if I can, obviously no Tarantino here. You do not want your oil to get into your combustion chamber. So for that to keep that to keep it that way, you never want to put your carburetor underneath where your oil is. If you do, your oil will seep through. It'll get past those piston rings, no problem if it's just got gravity on its side. It'll get into the carburetor, and it'll gum everything up, and your engine, if it even starts, will be shooting smoke until you get the thing cleaned. So, if you need to tilt it to drain the oil, you want to tilt so that the carburetor is on top. This works out because the drain plug is in the opposite corner. So here, if it were mounted on a mower deck, we'd have to tilt it this way. When you tilt it over, you're going to drain out that old gross oil. You're going to make sure you keep that in an oil-safe container. Don't throw it away. Don't dump it into the ground. Once that's done, you tighten up that drain plug and you add in the recommended amount of recommended oil. And then you're good. You're good to go. So let's go outside and take a look at my lawnmower, see if it needs oil. I haven't done an oil check on it, and we can talk about that engine because it's a little bit different. Alright, so out here at the lawnmower. The first thing I want to talk about is that a lot of new engines don't have drain plugs underneath. There's a lot of different reasons about that. I'm not quite sure on all of them, but that's the case. If you have a drain plug underneath, what you can do is get some sort of oil catcher like this container right here. This is just an old rusty bucket that we've got that I used for my car. That goes underneath. You can use a socket wrench to take it out. You can use some other wrench to unscrew that drain plug, but drain underneath. The moment that you're going underneath the mower deck, unplug that spark plug. Alright? You do not want to lose any fingers over a simple mistake that takes 1 second to do. Don't lose a digit over it. Alright, second thing. This lawnmower is a Craftsman Briggs & Stratton, and they claim that you never have to drain the oil from this engine. It's a just check and add. I don't fully buy it personally, but that's the case. So that's, if I need to add oil today, I genuinely have not checked this yet. That's what we're going to do. I still at one point will replace all the oil in here. I'm not going to do that on camera. It'll just get messy, and I'd rather not get oil on the camera itself. So, I have some SAE 30. I have some paper towels. Let's check this oil. The dipstick's going to be on a different spot in different engines. This one also doesn't need a screwdriver to take it off. It's just a simple click and turn. Okay, let's see, what can we get in here? I'm gonna hold it this way so it doesn't drain. It might be hard to see, but there are two arrows. One point ends just about the line of that oil, and one's right there. In between, there are little crosshatch lines. So that tells me that I have just about on the edge of too little oil. It could probably pass, but just on the edge. So, what I'm going to do, just to make sure we're safe, is add a little bit more. I have a funnel somewhere. There we go. You don't want oil everywhere, so use a funnel. If you don't have a funnel and you have plastic water bottles, drink it first, don't waste the water, then chop that up and put the drinking end into there and half the bottle out. That might be hard to understand. But I'm just going to add a little bit. Really, that oil was so close to the line that I probably don't need to add any, but for demonstration's sake, I can get away with that. So I've refilled with my oil. This is going to go back on the shelf in the basement, so I'm ready for the next time that I have to change the oil. Keep those relatively clean. I'm going to put that in my oil change bucket so I don't lose it. That's back on, and the engine's good to go.